where we are learning new details about the investigation into body parts found in Milwaukee County.
A severed leg was found on a beach on April 2nd, and it had been preliminarily identified to belonging to 19-year-old Sade Robinson. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office and Police Department did hold a news conference a little bit ago this morning.
Let's go into that press conference that happened just moments ago.
Half body was found. Imagine going on a first date, just dinner, maybe a few laughs, the hope of something new. That's all 19-year-old Sade Robinson wanted. But that night in April 2024, her dream of a fresh romance turned into a nightmare beyond comprehension. Hours after meeting a man she connected with online, Sade vanished. Then, the unthinkable, her body parts began washing up across Milwaukee. A leg here. A foot there. Each discovery more horrifying than the last. Who was the monster behind this unspeakable crime? And how could a simple date turn into a gruesome murder? This is the chilling case of Sade Robinson, a story so disturbing, you'll question whether anyone is ever really safe when meeting a stranger online. Stick with us as we unravel the terrifying truth, because what you're about to hear will haunt you long after this video ends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because the darkest true crime stories are the ones you can't afford to miss. Picture a young woman with a smile so bright it could light up a room, a laugh so contagious it pulled everyone in. That was Sade Robinson, a 19-year-old whose life was cut short in the most unthinkable way. Born on May 10, 2004, in Mississippi, Sade was a dreamer with a heart full of ambition. She moved to Milwaukee before she was 2, growing up in a tight-knit family where love and laughter were constants. Her mother, Sheena Scarborough, described her as a loving daughter, always glowing, always ready to help others. Sade was the kind of person who made everyone feel seen, whether it was her little sister Adriana, who she helped get a job, or the customers at Pizza Shuttle, where she worked as a cashier, charming them with her outgoing spirit. But who was the real Sade, and what drove her to chase her dreams with such fire? Sade was a student at Milwaukee Area Technical College, just weeks away from graduating with an associate's degree in criminal justice. She wasn't just studying for a degree, she was chasing a calling. She dreamed of a career where she could make a difference, maybe even joining the U.S. Air Force, following in the footsteps of her grandfather, a Navy veteran, and her uncle, an Army veteran. Her mother said Sade was still figuring out her path, but one thing was clear, she was unstoppable. In middle school, she joined junior ROTC, planting the seeds for her dreams of service. Even after facing academic challenges in 7th grade, Sade moved to Florida to live with her father, Carlos, and transformed herself into an exceptional student, graduating high school a semester early in December 2021. Her determination was like a quiet storm, steady, powerful, and impossible to ignore. But what made her shine even brighter? Beyond the classroom, Sade was a burst of creativity. She loved to express herself through art, from rapping to ballroom dancing, always eager to try something new. Her friends said her confidence was magnetic, never crossing into arrogance. She was unstoppable in the best possible way, a close friend told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. At Pizza Shuttle, where she'd worked since she was 15, her manager Justin Romano couldn't recall a single missed shift, until the day she vanished. Sade was the coworker who lightened the mood, the one who talked to everyone, making the long shifts feel shorter. At her second job at the Wisconsin Country Club, she balanced her responsibilities with grace, saving up for solo trips to Jamaica, Atlanta, and New Orleans. She'd just gotten her passport, a symbol of her hunger to see the world. But what was it about that one night that changed everything? Sade's life was a delicate balance of hard work and joy. She lived in her own apartment, a testament to her independence, and stayed close to her family through constant texts and calls. On Easter Sunday, March 31, 2024, she spent the evening with her mother, grandmother, and sister, sharing a meal and making memories. "I didn't know that was going to be the last day I saw my baby," her mother said, her voice breaking. The next morning, Sade video called Sheena, glowing as she talked about her plans for the day. She was excited about a first date that night, April 1, 2024, with a man named Maxwell Anderson. She told a worker in her building how much she was looking forward to it, texting him, "I'm feeling seafood." That excitement, that spark, was quintessentially Sade. But as the night unfolded, her phone's location trail, tracked by her mother and friends on a shared app, went silent. What happened after she left that restaurant? April 1, 2024, Milwaukee. Sade Robinson, 19, steps out of her apartment, her heart fluttering with nerves and excitement. She's dressed in a black puffy coat, light blue ripped jeans, and white shoes, her phone buzzing with a final text to Maxwell Anderson, a 33-year-old she met on a dating app. "I love seafood," she types, her fingers quick, a smile tugging at her lips. They've been chatting for days, their messages light but flirty, leading to this moment, a first date at the Twisted Fisherman, a cozy seafood restaurant on Canal Street. At 4:15 p.m., Sade's phone pings with Maxwell's reply, confirming their plan to meet at 5 p.m. He mentions he needs to pick up a W-2 form from the restaurant, a detail that feels casual, almost too ordinary. Maxwell, a former employee at Twisted Fisherman, knows the place well. Surveillance footage later recovered by police captures the moment Sade arrives at 5:20 p.m. Maxwell is already there, seated at the bar, his posture relaxed but his eyes scanning the door. She walks in, her smile bright but cautious, and slides onto the stool next to him. The camera catches them, Sade's animated gestures, Maxwell's subtle nods, as they order drinks and food, talking and laughing. But something feels off. Was it the way Maxwell's gaze lingered a little too long, or the way his hand brushed hers, deliberate yet fleeting? For an hour, they sit close, the footage showing moments of ease, Sade sipping her drink, Maxwell leaning in to speak. He tells the bartender it's a first date, his voice carrying a hint of pride, but the words feel rehearsed, like a line he's used before. Sade, unaware, is caught up in the moment, her excitement evident in the way she tosses her hair, her laughter ringing out. At 6:24 p.m., the cameras catch them leaving together, their figures disappearing into the night as they head to Sade's Honda Civic. The footage is grainy, but it holds a haunting truth: this is the last time Sade is seen alive on camera. Where were they going next, and what darkness waited just beyond the restaurant's doors? Their next stop is Duke's on Water, a nearby bar on East Juneau Avenue. Sade's phone, tracked by her mother and friends through the Life 360 app, places her there by 6:35 p.m. She sends a Snapchat to a friend, a quick glimpse of her surroundings, her face lit by the bar's neon glow. It's a fleeting moment, a digital breadcrumb that will later become a lifeline for investigators. Maxwell is with her, but the footage from Duke's is less clear, the details blurred by the crowd and the dim light. They stay for about 2 hours, the clock ticking toward 9:06 p.m. when they leave. Sade's phone next pings at an address on South Oklahoma Avenue, Maxwell's home. What happened in those hours at his house, and why did her phone's signal move north to Kern Park, then south to Warnemont Park, where it went silent at 4:35 a.m.? April 2, 2024, dawns cold and gray over Milwaukee, a city about to be gripped by an unspeakable tragedy. Sade Robinson, the vibrant 19-year-old who lit up every room, is nowhere to be found. At Pizza Shuttle, where she's worked faithfully for 3 years, the lunch shift begins without her. Her manager, Justin Romano, stares at the clock, unease creeping in. Sade never misses a shift, never. Her coworker, sensing something's terribly wrong, dials the police at 8 p.m., voice trembling as she reports Sade missing. Officers visit her apartment for a welfare check, but the door stays silent, her home empty. Her mother, Sheena Scarborough, and friends track her phone on the Life 360 app, but the signal has gone dark. The last ping placed her at Warnemont Park at 4:35 a.m. Where is Sade, and what horror is about to unfold? That same morning, at 7:30 a.m., a 911 call shatters the quiet near 30th and Lisbon. A resident watches flames devour a 2020 Honda Civic in an alley, its interior reduced to ash. When firefighters douse the blaze, detectives find remnants of a black puffy coat, light blue ripped jeans, and a white shirt, Sade's outfit from the night before. Part of an iPhone, scorched but recognizable, lies among the wreckage. Her family's worst fears take shape, the car is Sade's. The discovery sends shockwaves through Milwaukee, a city now haunted by the question, how did a bright young woman's life end in such a brutal, unthinkable way? The nightmare doesn't stop. On April 5, at 10 p.m., investigators find another human body part near 31st and Walnut, just a block from the torched car. It's a foot, small and delicate, believed to be Sade's. The next day, April 6, police canvassing the area uncover more remains near 31st and Galena, flesh, fragments of a life stolen too soon. Each find is a dagger to her family's heart, who cling to hope while grappling with grief. On April 7, yet another discovery in the same area deepens the horror, though police don't confirm if it's connected. By April 18, a passerby walking a remote stretch of South Milwaukee's Lake Michigan shore spots a torso and an arm, washed ashore like relics of a forgotten tragedy. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office believes they're Sade's, pending final tests. Her mother calls it an ongoing nightmare, her voice heavy with pain. Why were Sade's remains scattered like this, and who could commit such a monstrous act? The city holds its breath as volunteers and police scour the shores, a sonar detection boat scheduled to search Lake Michigan for more clues. Sade's family, desperate for closure, combs Warnemont Park, finding a blanket with her photo on it. Each discovery deepens the mystery, the grief, the rage. Was this the work of a calculated killer, hiding in plain sight? As the pieces of Sade's final hours come together, the trail leads to a man, a house, and a darkness no one saw coming. Stay with us as we uncover the chilling evidence that ties this tragedy together, and don't forget to subscribe and like to honor Sade's memory with the truth. The city's police and sheriff's deputies are racing against time, piecing together a puzzle of digital clues and chilling evidence. Their focus narrows to one man. Maxwell Anderson, the 33-year-old Sade met for a first date the night before. But how did a man described as a charming bartender become the prime suspect in a gruesome homicide? The answer lies in a web of texts, location pings, and grainy surveillance footage that unravels a night of horror. What did the police uncover, and how close were they to catching a killer? It starts with Sade's phone, a lifeline that holds the key to her final hours. Her mother and friends, frantic, use the Life 360 app to track her phone's movements. On April 1, it pings at Twisted Fisherman Restaurant at 5:20 p.m., where surveillance footage captures Sade and Maxwell sitting at the bar, their conversation casual but tinged with something unsettling. By 6:24 p.m., cameras show them leaving together, heading to Sade's car. Phone records confirm texts between Sade and a number later tied to Maxwell, arranging the date with a mention of seafood and a W-2 form he needed to pick up. At 6:35 p.m., her phone moves to Duke's on Water, a bar on East Juneau Avenue where Sade sends a Snapchat to a friend, her last digital footprint. By 9:24 p.m., her phone is at Maxwell's home on South 39th Street, surveillance catching two figures arriving in the dark. But what happened inside those walls, and why did her phone's signal take a haunting journey afterward? The gavel falls in a Milwaukee courtroom, April 12, 2024, sealing a moment of reckoning. Maxwell Anderson, 33, stands accused in the brutal death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson, his face unreadable as three chilling charges are read aloud: first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of property other than a building. Sade's mother, Sheena Scarborough, speaks through tears outside the courthouse, her voice a mix of fury and sorrow. This sick son of a bitch is going to pay. This is justice for Sade. Barely whispering, she adds, who would do something like this to my beautiful baby? Her uncle, David Scarborough, chokes back tears, saying, Sade was more than a person, she was an angel. Not having her right now is very painful. Anderson's family breaks their silence through his father, Stephen Anderson, who releases a statement via the law firm Kuckler and Cotton. "We are shocked and devastated by Sade's senseless death. To her mother and father, words cannot express our sorrow for the incomprehensible pain you are going through." The words, meant to console, land uneasily as more remains wash ashore, each discovery a fresh wound. Anderson, held on a $5 million bond, pleads not guilty on April 22, his attorney Anthony Cotton insisting he's presumed innocent. Yet, a confidential informant's claim, that Anderson planned the murder a month earlier, detailing a basement setup with saws and a tarp, casts a chilling shadow. Sade Robinson was more than a headline. She was a 19-year-old with a radiant laugh, a student chasing a career in criminal justice, a daughter and sister whose love touched everyone around her. She was a dreamer, saving for trips to see the world, her passport a symbol of her boundless hope. Her family calls her an angel, and though her life was cut short on April 1, 2024, her memory burns bright. To honor Sade, let's share her story, tell the world about the vibrant young woman who deserved so much more. Spread her name, demand justice, and keep her legacy alive. Subscribe, like, and share this video to ensure Sade's story reaches every corner, reminding us all to hold our loved ones close and stay vigilant. For Sade, for her family, for justice, let's never stop fighting.